welcome to another video. I just want to do a quick video here. I was looking at how the SNAP benefits and all of those things are being ended, and the Supreme Court upheld the Trump administration's views on it. And I've been saying in many videos, what are we going to do? When they started rounding up the Hispanics, I kept saying, what are you going to do? What are you prepared as a people, as Hebrews, to do? It's so easy for us to say, oh, blacks and Hispanics are the real Hebrews. And my thing was, when they were rounding up people, what were you prepared to do to help someone? Were you prepared to open your home? Were you prepared to give someone, camper you're not using, um, something you're not using that could be used, your garage, something that could be used to house people who were in distress? All right, that was one thing. And then the next thing happened, um, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And now here we are at a point where I knew for a while we were going to end up getting to. And, I've been practicing having a garden, been practicing, we had chickens, we had all these different things to feed ourselves, right? But I want to ask you, what have you been doing this time to help others? Let's think about Bible. In the New Testament, there was a time when the persecution was happening, um, and they started programs. The believers, the disciples, started feeding widows and orphans, started helping out the community. All right, and they were proactive in making sure the people around them had what they needed. It's those who, not everybody, but those who believed like them, those who were in the faith like them, those who called Yeshua their Lord and Savior. Okay, they made sure that each person had what they needed. Um, we go back to, the Maccabees, them refusing to eat whatever the king said to eat, refusing to defile themselves, their God. Um, they had to help each other. They had to encourage each other. They had to hold each other accountable to say, don't do that. It's better to die and be with Yah than it is to um, bow to a man. So here we are. Is it better to serve and bow to a man? Or is it better to come together and help each other? I honestly feel conflicted because in reality, there's so many people around me. I don't know who's a Hebrew, who's not. There's people who watch my videos. Most of them don't live in this part of Mississippi. They live all over, you know. So there's not a real community here for Hebrews to reach out and to say, hey, are you okay? Is your family okay? Are you affected by the government shutdown? Are you affected by the SNAP benefit thing? Are you affected by this or by that? And then we are able to help them where there is a need to help them. So I ask each one of you who watch my videos, make sure that you check on the people around you. Okay. I know sometimes there's people that live far off, even family members that live far off, and you don't have a way to get to them. But who around you needs help? Who around you is being affected by these things? You see, if we're gonna be a Yahweh's people, if we're gonna be the remnant, if we're gonna be the salt and the light of the world, all right, we need to be able to help each other, strengthen each other, because it's the pressure of the thing that causes people to, I don't know, go stand in some food line, to go beg the government, to go seek, I don't know, something from someone else, you know, rather than doing what we can for ourselves and our friends and our families. Throughout all of this, no one has ever said, hey, we need to start gardening. We need to plant some crops. We need to plant some food for ourselves and our families. Nobody has mentioned, hey, we need some chickens, we need some goats, we need this, we need that, to make sure that we have sustenance for our families and ourselves. Nobody looks at the neighbor and says, hey, you know, let me help you get something going. This is where we start our victory garden. This is where we start our small chickens, and have a big dog crate, you know, put two chickens in a dog crate, a big one, you know. I have a few extra large dog crates, and they can easily hold two chickens each, three chickens, 4 or 5 as little babies, 4 of them as babies and one, and then as they get bigger, you might have to split them up. But the thing is, there are ways we can help each other. That doesn't mean you have to give all your money, all your things to the next person. What it means is we need to share what we have with the next person. We need, this is where, even though I don't like the church members should be looking at other church members and saying, hey, we all go to the same church. I got a good job. I'm all right. You need anything? This is where the Hebrew Israelite community comes together and says, hey, who are the other Hebrews around us? We need to identify them and check on them and see if they're okay. This is where organizations come together and say, hey, we're going to do whatever we can to help each other. But the big thing is that we do something. And we don't just sit around being hearers of the word and not doers of the word. All throughout the Bible, it talks about, you know, gives examples of the Good Samaritan helping another person who was down and out, of, um, just people in need. And then the next person says, okay, this is what I can do for you. I'm thinking about David when he went into the temple and he asked, hey, is there anything I can do? Do you have anything here to eat and a weapon or something? And they said, yeah, this is what we got. And they gave to him of what they had. If you don't have, then there's nothing you can give. But if you have, this is where we share. This is where we help. Because of SNAP benefits, let's just say they don't ever come back. Okay, everybody's sitting here with their fingers crossed, saying, "Oh, the government's going to open up soon. Oh, everything's going to be okay. It's going to go back to normal. Oh, it's all right." We make excuses. What if it doesn't? Are you going to sit here and starve yourself? Or are you going to watch your neighbors starve themselves? What are you willing to do for those who are like you? What are you willing to do to help the next person? This is where we shine on being Yahweh's holy chosen people. This is where we come together and prove who we are. This is where we start to stand up, okay, and say, we got it. Don't worry about it. We got it. A lot of kids going to school, they may go to school hungry. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to figure out who's who needs help, who needs what, and at the same time introduce them to what we believe? It's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. What are you willing to do with it? What are you willing to do about it? That's all. I just want you guys to think about it. This whole SNAP benefit thing kind of triggered me for a second. I said, man, let me do a video real quick, because I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a while. I've been getting ready for a long time for this moment. And now this moment is here. And I'm looking at other people like, y'all didn't see the signs? Y'all didn't know? You know? I got a bunch of fruit trees. I got all kind of stuff. And once they start fully, really bearing, well, I'll be looking for people to give it away to. Okay. But the thing is, I want you guys to know and think of what can you do to help the next person. All right. Have a good one. See you in the next one.